May I suggest that this morning, instead of my talking, you should kindly ask questions and we have a dialogue between us. Would that be all right? Right, start it.
So, when I was looking this morning, I was questioning myself why do I not change? And suddenly I realized that I didn't see the sun and I didn't feel the wind blowing. And so is it that this questioning prevents us from living or seeing the most simple things in life? Is it that I am too worried, thinking, why do I not change, that I cannot simply live, like seeing the sun shining on the... I was too worried, questioning myself, why do I not change? But I didn't feel the sun and the wind blowing, and I didn't hear the birds singing.
Is it clear to you?
Not quite clear.
I think his question is this. This morning, he was asking himself the question, why don't I change?
Yes, I understood that.
And while he was thinking about it and wondering about it, he also noticed that he wasn't aware of the wind, of the...
Bene.
Is he too worried about this question? Isn't that what you're saying?
Could we start to answer this question by having a dialogue, discussion, exchange? What do you mean by awareness? Could we start with that? Va bene? Do we give an extraordinary meaning to that word? Some superhuman awareness? Or begin very simply. We are aware of this room in which we are sitting, right? You are aware as you look out of that window, the Mercedes there, and the garden out there, you're aware of that, aren't you? No? It's that simple, isn't it? Aware of that, of the walls, the color of the walls, the ceiling, and the garden around it. Then, are you aware? Is one aware of one's own thinking? You understand my question? You understand my question? Aware of what you are thinking, what you are feeling, and what's your attitude to others and so on. Are you aware of all the reactions that go on? You understand? I wonder if are we meeting each other? Are you aware of our relationships?
Sometimes we are.
No, you see, I think we are giving such an extraordinary meaning to that word awareness. It's really quite simple. To be aware of one's surroundings, to be aware of one's room, the dress, you're aware of your attitudes, opinions, judgments, are you? Avanti, therefore, let's get on with it.
Sometimes we may be very
No, just to be aware. Begin very simply first. To be aware of these curtains, to be aware of the ceiling, how it looks, to be aware of the garden around it. That's very simple, isn't it? Now, can one be equally simply be aware of what is going on inside?
So is it possibly that the awareness is fleeting and shallow?
Yes, maybe.
So
Accept that.
oh,
Accept it. Let's accept that the awareness is fleeting, shallow. Let's begin from there, not imagine some fantastic things. To be aware of one's environment. If you are politically, what is happening in the world, economically, socially, and so on, outside the world, outside of you, and then move from the outer to the inner. That's very simple, isn't it? Right? Can we do that? Simply, not make it such a complex problem out of it.
But it is complex because it's moving and there's so much that escapes us, we are only partially.
Let things escape. Are we aware of simple things? You follow? Begin simply, not elaborately. Then move from the outer to the inner. If you are not aware of the outer, how you have no criterion for the inner. You understand what I mean? You understand? Huh? I wish I could speak Spanish. I used to, but I've forgotten it. How can we put this very, very simply? You see, if you have no guide in yourself of what it means to be aware, unless you begin with the outer, you understand? The politics, what's happening in the world, and then from there move to the inner. No? Right? Because you have a criteria, you know what is happening there. You can judge what is happening there. You can observe, you can take the left people, the right center, and so on, the Labour Party, all that's happening. So you can observe what is happening out there. So can you observe what is happening here, inside? That's all. Begin very simply. Bene, can we move from there?
I think that we have that level of awareness.
Huh?
That simple level of awareness we have, I think, to see things as happen.
We'll complicate it, sir. Begin simply, right, sir? Then, if you are aware of what is happening inside, are you aware of the movement and the changes, the shallowness, or the demand for deeper, and so on, so on? Are you aware of all that? You understand what I'm saying?
is that perhaps the moment when the awareness stops? We're aware that we read something about the Labour Party, or somebody says something that we react to, noises, and we're aware of that annoyance or that disagreement. But we stop with that, as though that is the fact. We don't go on to what's happening in ourselves, in response to it.
Is that the trouble? We are aware of what is happening in the world. Russia, China, India, and all that. And am I aware of what is what are my reactions? Are we? Are you? Huh? No. Don't you, if I may point out kindly, don't use the word difficult. That means you have already made it difficult. Keep it simple. Am I aware of my reactions? That is, you say something and I don't like what you are saying, therefore I am antagonistic to you. I'm putting it rather extravagantly. Or you are asserting yourself all the time, trying to dominate me, trying to bully me. So am I aware of that? That's all.
But somehow the focus remains on you, on the thing that annoyed you. It doesn't go in oneself.
All right. You, in a meeting like this kind, someone speaks up, and you say, no, you should not speak up, right? You have spoken too often, and you are against that already. Now, are we aware that we are creating antagonism, building it up about that person? Oh, come on, sir, this is so... No, go a little further. You say something to me which annoys me. Now, am I aware, not of what you have said, what the reaction to what you have said? The reaction is that I get annoyed. Am I aware of that annoyance? If I am aware of that annoyance, then how shall I proceed from there? Now, I'll go into it. If you will, you understand, what you have said to me has irritated me. And I blame you. Whereas I said, why am I irritated? What is the movement in there? You understand, I'm examining it. You're following this? Why am I irritated? Go on, answer me, why? Perhaps I don't like you, right? Perhaps the way you use the words have irritated me. Perhaps I'm irritated because I'm depressed about something else. Or I got up rather tired and I'm superficially irritated. Now, what shall I do with that irritation? Or can we go on into it? All right, my God. What shall I do with that irritation? I know what has caused it, perhaps. You understand? My laziness, like being tired after having talked two times yesterday. And I get slightly irritated, and I say, why am I irritated? Not by what you said, but why? I'm irritated because, for these reasons, right? And what shall I do with that irritation which is now, which is taking place now? Right? What shall I do? Can I look at that irritation without any reaction to the irritation? I wonder if I've made myself clear. Can I look at that irritation and not say, I mustn't be irritated, it is really quite wrong, I must suppress it, I must do... something about it, but without doing any of that, can I observe that irritation? Do you understand? Just observe, not direct it, correct it, or suppress it, or escape from it, just to observe that irritation. Right? Will you? Don't agree with me.
If one give a name to that irritation one can, one sees its vanity, for instance, that it's her. Is it right or is it already separating?
Vanity?
For instance,
Why do you, may I finish? Don't bring another word, because that we move away from. I see I'm irritated. And I observe that my mind doesn't want to resolve that irritation. Perhaps it likes it. But it says either I must suppress it, run away from it, or why shouldn't I be irritated? Because you have said some silly thing and I get irritated. So, in observing that irritation, what's my reaction to that? Vous avez compris? You understand? What's my reaction to that irritation? Be actual. Huh?
We don't want to be irritated, so we want to get from irritation.
Yes, but so which means what? Which means what? We want to get away from it. That's your, or we defend it. Either we defend it or avoid it. Now, is that your reaction? Don't find out your reaction.
But it might remain quite
Écoutez, monsieur, I mean, you see, you start with quiet mind. I don't know what quiet mind is. I'm irritated. That's all I know. Forgive me, you understand, sir? All that I know is, at the moment, I'm irritated. That's all. Now, what is my reaction, my response to that irritation? As he said, I want to get away from it, avoid it, or I defend it. Why should I be irritated? So, I discover my reaction to another reaction, right? Huh? I wonder if you are also... Your mind isn't on this, I see. Gosh, lummy. Are you interested in this? Huh? Don't.
It seems to be a shame where we feel this reaction and then we try to act again.
Yes, my reaction is that I don't like to be irritated, right? So what have I done? Irritation is a reaction. And I have another reaction to it, which is I don't like to be irritated. What does that mean?
there are two movements of thought, no?
No,
One is the other.
no. Look, sir,
Mind yourself.
I'm irritated. And to that, and the response to that irritation is, I must not be irritated. Right? Right? Now, what makes me say I must not be irritated?
The recognition of the moment.
No, no, sir. No, you're not. Why do I say I must not be irritated? Why? No. Yeah, I have an idea that I mustn't be irritated. I have a principle, a concept that I must not be irritated. Right? This concept is the past, right? Which denies the present. Are you following this? Huh? So, why do I have concepts? Why do I have saying this must not, this must be? Go slowly, sir. I will go very carefully into this. Is it my mind is guided by previous knowledge? Huh? Right? My mind is taking the easiest line, which is to follow what has happened before. All right? Is this clear? So, which means what? The past is my life. And the past is dictating what should be. Right? Right, sir? So, I am living in the past. Not only with regard to that irritation, but if I observe, I am always living in the past. Past knowledge, past information, past hurts, past memories, and so on, so on. So the past is dictating the present irritation. Right? It says you must not be irritated. Can we go on from there? Are you quite sure we are together in this? Please, just follow this little while. The sequence of this, the logic of it, and we'll come to the end of it presently, and we'll abolish logic. You say something that irritates me. To that irritation, I react. And the reaction says, don't be irritated. Don't be irritated may be my snobism. Understand? That I'm better. I must not be irritated. I've studied, I've learned, and this peculiar snobism of being somebody. Huh? Right?
Also, so the peculiar pleasure for some
Oh yes.
in having a principle.
Yes, another pleasure, all that. So, why does my mind always react to the present from the past? You understand my question? So, you've understood my question, sir? Huh? Will you translate it? My mind, your mind, my mind is reacting to the present from a past knowledge, from a past state. I wonder if you are... Huh? You understand this, sir? Please tell the... Yeah, yes, sir. Bene, bene. Andiamo. So why does my mind always doing this? Go on, investigate it, say with me. Why is my mind, your mind, my mind, living in the past and dictating from the past what should be the present? Right? Huh?
I was mentioning something that.
Okay, so go.
Can it be that in the past we were threatened from the outside, I mean physically, and we had to respond because that response is from the past, that we going into a cave
Yes, sir, from the cave here.
and something, and then we take this into the psychological, that we want to take the.
Now, I want to, that's all understood, sir. That is, the past has become very important for us, right? That past may be the result of centuries of man thinking, centuries of suppression, centuries of all that's going on. Now, why I'm asking a question. The mind is doing this all the time, right? Which is moving from knowledge. Right? Look, sir, I am irritated. My reaction to that is, I must not be irritated. Why do I say that? Is it because I have an idea or a feeling or my condition says, never be irritated? That means you have no love. Right? You understand? So I have an idea, an image that a person who loves has no irritation. Right? Right? So, proceed further. Now, why does that image always say what I should do, what I should not do? Go on, sir.
This is the whole educational system.
It's the whole educational system, society, the priests, the religion, all that we know. The whole thing says to me, you must not be, or you must be. Right? Right? And that has conditioned my mind, right? Now, am I aware that my mind is conditioned to that? Would you please?
Doesn't one have to be aware of the pleasure that the mind is taking in the certain...
Yes, yes, yes. Now, I'm coming to that. Please follow it slowly. Irritation, I must not be, which is a certain form of pleasure and a certain form of discipline. And that gives me pleasure, or I'm getting better every day.
I know what to do.
I know what to do. Now, which means what? My mind is always functioning along a certain path, along a certain groove. Right? Are you aware of that?
It seems that without recognition...
No, please, madam, don't go off to something else. You see, you're all... Are you aware that your mind is functioning along this particular line. I must not, which is a line, right? A direction. Or I must. Are you aware that your mind is functioning this way? Are you aware when you are functioning that way, you are offering opinions all the time, right? Right? I must not, I must. On that principle you say, no, you follow, my whole life is functioning along that way. Right? Are you aware that you're doing this?
It seems to be that we are aware of all this, but we don't know where it comes from. It's just there.
No, we have explained where it comes from.
But we don't see it. It's there.
Look, sir, my mother told me, you must not do that. Or my mother told me, father or mother, that you must be like your elder brother, who is clever, who is intelligent, who passes examinations, who's got a good job. You must be like him. It's very simple. And in education, in schools, it's always comparison. Right? Better marks, you're not as good as all the rest of it. So we are so conditioned. Are we aware of that? That's all I'm asking. I am aware of this room. I am aware of the garden outside of me. I am aware that I am irritated. I see irritation. When there is irritation, I say, no, I must not be irritated. That indicates I have no love in my heart. And it's terrible not to have love in your heart. Right? Because I'm going to be a saint. So, gradually, the pattern is established, right? Right, sir? Right? What are you objecting to? Alesi. Go ahead, sir.
It seems that we can see this.
Huh?
We can see that we have these reactions.
We don't see it?
We see that.
Now, when you see that reaction, find out why you have that reaction. You have that reaction because from childhood you have been told you must not, you must. Or you must be like comparison, measurement has been so deeply embedded.
Isn't there also the quality of laziness?
Of course, I've said that too. Laziness, indifference, callousness.
It's much easier to not think it out, but to say, oh, it's wrong to do that, oh, it's right.
I know, it's easier and also gives a certain sense of slackness.
You don't have to examine it.
Examine, quite right. So we know all that. Let's move. So am I aware when I am irritated, the reaction to that irritation, which is I must not. Or I say, why shouldn't I be irritated? You said something harsh, or I don't like what you're saying, you're stupid, you follow, and just wander off. But if I'm aware, I say, just a minute, why am I irritated? Is it because I think I should never be irritated? So I gradually find out, or quickly find out, that my mind is functioning in a groove. Right? Right, sir? Can we proceed further? Are you aware that your mind is functioning in a groove? Jesus. The older we get, the groove gets stronger and stronger and stronger. It's obvious. Are you aware that you are functioning a groove? I'm a Catholic. I've been brought up from childhood to believe in Jesus and the rituals, the Pope and all that business. And it's so deeply sewn in, this propaganda, that's my line. Right? Or I reject that, all that nonsense, and I invent another nonsense. Right? So I realize that I'm always functioning. It may be moment variation, but the line is established. Like a tram car that's always moving along those rails. It goes from different places to different places, but it's along the same line. Right? I'm glad you're examining yourself. Now, I am aware of that. Being aware of that I'm functioning, what's my reaction to that? You understand what I've said? My mind is functioning of grooves, right? Must not. This is right, this is wrong. I get irritated, I must not get irritated. Right? This is the line. Now when I discover that, what's my reaction to it? Huh? That's the reaction. Now wait. I want to break down the lines. I want to escape. I want to get away from this. Why? Huh?
I mean, if all reactions we have in the past, we have that we have to go away from it.
Yes, sir. So you have found your reaction is, don't follow grooves. Now, just stop there a minute. Just stop there before you go further. Right? Right? Who says that you must get out of it? Vous avez compris? Huh? No, wait a second. Go slowly. I'm not accepting anything. Go very slowly. Who says I must get out of that, out of these grooves? Go on. You've heard me for umpteen years. Tell me. No, don't go into it. A little more. Go into a little. Who tells me that I must get out of it? Huh? Is it thought? Go on, you.
Irritable myself.
Huh? Lazy, go on, sir, go on. Go. Put all of us, let's all of us explain. Come on, please.
Isn't the danger that the groove, another groove comes along to say that it's wrong to be in a group? In which case you're...
No, Maria, I'm asking, the desire to be free of the grooves. Wait, listen, please. Desire to be out of those grooves.
Is it the desire for a better life?
Yes, which means what? You are not better life. Please, I have been following all my life, 20, 30, 40 years I'm old, or 80, I've always followed certain grooves, well established, recognized, respectable grooves, right? Now I discover that. I said, by Joe, I'm doing this like a tram car, always going along the same line. Now then I say to myself, I must get out of it. Which means what? Come on. Yes, but you see, moment you have said I must get out of it, you are not watching the grooves. Oh, for God's sake.
Still, I must not.
No, sir, just slowly. Look, sir, I realize I'm in a groove, in a rut, repeating the same thing over and over and over again, offering opinions it's the same movement. Do I know that is this a fact to me? Or somebody pointed out to me the grooves, and I say, yes, by Joe, I'm following this. You understand, my son? You understand? Is it an idea or a fact? You understand what I mean, sir? An idea which you have given to me, and therefore I accept it. Or is it a real fact to me that I'm moving in grooves? My mind has become old, my mind is lazy, or I'm quite young, but I have well-established grooves. It's very respectable, accepted, normal, and I say, yes, I'm in those. Do I realize that? And having those grooves, I always respond according to those grooves, right?
Krishnji, I feel it's so much a fact to me that even now as you're speaking, I'm responding in opinions.
Yes, I know, because you are not listening. Sorry, not you, sir. So what shall I do? That is the fact, that I function in grooves. Right? Right?
It seems as though it's the mind that is in grooves, that is, functioning on the grooves.
Yes, it's the same. The grooves and the trolley on the tram car are the same. And the rider in the tram car is the same.
So it seems you're just endlessly going.
Wait, yes, that's what you're doing. You're going to do, you'll find out, sir. Wait. We'll find out what to do a little later. First of all, I must know, be aware of the fact that my mind functions in grooves. I am the head of, the president of this Blinking Foundation, and I must, you follow? When I go to India, everybody kind of salutes me with great respect. That's my line. If somebody doesn't, I feel annoyed. Or I feel belittled. And so I bully somebody else to make me bigger. You follow that kind of thing? So, how do I and you realize, not merely an idea of it, realize, feel, know, aware, conscious that we are functioning in grooves? If I'm a surgeon, I function very well along those lines. Right? If I'm a painter, it's always there. So, and so on. Are we aware of it? As I'm aware of that green lawn. Green lawn is a fact. It's called green because we've all accepted it as green. If we all say that it's mauve, we'll all say that's mauve. So am I aware that I am functioning in a groove? Right? Can we move from there? Right, sir? Right. Then, what is my reaction to the discovery by me, by you, that you are functioning in a groove? What's my reaction to that? As you said, I must get out. Right? Who is that says that I must get out? Don't answer too quickly, I know. Who says to me, get out of that? I was irritated. The reaction says, don't be irritated. And I find myself in grooves, and somebody says, get out of it. It's the same movement. I wonder if you understand this. You have understood this? It's the same movement. Irritation, don't be irritated. If you are irritated, it shows you have no love, and so on. So that is one groove. And when I react to that groove, I say I must get out of it. It is the same thing operating from the beginning to the end. Bene? Right? Right, sir? So I've discovered something. Now, I've discovered something, as you are discovering, that our reactions are always the same. Whether it is to somebody you like, whether it's somebody you don't like, whether you are irritated, it's always saying, do, don't, do, this, right? You follow? The same reaction. Right? Is this all right, sir? Can we proceed from there? I hope I'm not bullying you, am I? So I've discovered something for myself. The constant repetition of reactions to everything. So the reactions are more or less the same, right? So then arises, what's wrong with these reactions? A mind that is functioning in grooves is a mechanical mind. Right? Right? Why has my mind become so extraordinarily mechanical? I can't stand too much noise. I must like jazz. You follow? Go on, sirs. So my mind, from childhood, is trained and disciplined and forced and encouraged to be mechanical. Right? Right? Do we see this? So if you're bored, let's stop it and we can all go home. But if you're not bored, let's go on with it. Now, why has my mind become mechanical? I find being mechanical is a great sense of protection, safety, security. I am angry. That's great security. You follow? Or I'm hysterical. In that I'm established. So why does my mind seek security in these grooves? Why is my mind become mechanical and finds safety in it? Is such safety a reality or an illusion? Go on, sirs, move it. No, you're not. I'm the head of an organization, and I have certain power, and I have certain position, flatters, all the rest of it. And I've established this groove, this pattern, which has become mechanical, right? When I go to India, and I go to all the same thing repeated. And I say, by God, how good it is. So, is there security in all this? So, a mechanical mind must always be satisfied with security. Right? Right? Security means being safe, not to be disturbed, not to be, if any new idea comes, throw it out because that, you follow? I'm not clever. Oh, just leave me alone. This is all right for somebody else, not for me. It's this sense of not wanting to be disturbed and to always function in grooves, which is mechanical. If I believe in God, from childhood I've been told that there is God, and you come along and say, look, don't be silly, look at it. I won't look at it because it's very disturbing. If you come along and say, don't be a Frenchman, sorry, or British or an Indian, being an Indian, it has given me certain comfort and power, all that business, and it disturbs me. And I don't want to be disturbed. So I say, all right, my mind has lived in this mechanical way, please leave it alone. Right? But you can't be left alone. Right? There's my wife who's telling me all the time, don't be an ass. There's somebody tells me, don't be silly. So I'm always defending my grooves, my mechanical mind. Now, what is the next thing? Obviously, a mechanical mind is not a fresh mind, right? It's not a mind that's alive. It's not a mind that is free, move, go north, east, west, but always not in the same direction. So, my mind itself says, for God's sake, get out. You understand what I'm saying? No, you don't. My mind says, first it says, I want to get out of the grooves, but I don't know how. Please tell me how to do it. Give me a system, give me right? Which establishes another pattern. You're following all this? So I've come to the point when when the mind says, what does it say? I won't tell you. What does it say? Go on, sir. Go on, sir. What does your mind say that it's when when it finds itself being mechanical, repetitive, keep on holding on to your own particular reaction of hysteria, pleasure, this or that, and you realize you are doing that, then what is the next reaction to that? To get out of it? And if you want to get out of it, how to get out of it? Who will tell you? Who will help you? So you go off from the main issue that your mind is mechanical. Right? May I go? Huh? Now, what next? Do you realize that your mind is mechanical? So you try to escape. Then what do you do? Hmm? My mind is mechanical, defending, aggressive, or submissive. And submissiveness, that's my line. Or my line is aggressive. Or I want to defend everything. That's right, this is wrong. So my mind is functioning that way, which is in grooves. I realize it is a fact, not an idea. To me, it's a burning fact. Now, I realize Any reaction to the fact is another pattern, is the same repetition of the same pattern. Right? Right? Am I right in this? You're following this? No. So I see by Joe, yes, quite right. So what is the next thing? Every action is a reaction. Right? No. Go through it deeply in yourself and you will see something. Every reaction is another reaction. So the mind says, is there an end to this? Or must it always be controlled, shaped, react, follow? May I go on from there? You're clear for all of us? Huh? Please don't agree unless you do it. My next question is, am I observing the reaction? You understand my question? Am I observing the grooves and the reactions to the grooves? Am I observing it? Right? Or you are, Now, is the observer different from the observed? You understand my question, sir? That is, I am observing the grooves in my mind. How am I observing it? Something different from the observer. Right? Be clear on that point. Right? Right?
Krishanji, is it that we have, we think that there is a clear observer?
I'm not saying anything about. I don't know anything. I'm only come to a point. I say I am living in grooves. Who says I am living in grooves? The observer, right? Right? That's all I'm saying. Up to there, let's hold together. We are thinking together up to that point, right? Now, is the observer who says I'm in grooves, is he different from the grooves? Is that you understood, sir? I'm angry. Is anger different from me? Huh?
They are different when we are trying to react.
No, sir. No, I'm asking you a question. I'm angry. You're angry. Is that anger different from you? Who says, I'm angry?
The same.
Huh? You're greedy. You see a nice, etc. You're greedy, envious. Is that envy different from you? Huh? Huh? Be simple, sir. For God's sake, be simple.
The same. Then when one age, begin fear dwelling.
So, you're saying greed and anger is me, right? There is no difference between greed and me. I am, right? You're sure of this? You're all so hesitant, for God's sake. Look, I observed that tree, that oak tree. That oak tree is obviously different from me. Right? Fortunately. But what? There is a distance between that tree and me. The distance, 100 feet. And is there a distance, please listen, is there a distance between the realization that I function in grooves and me who is watching the grooves? Oh, you exercise your brain. Don't go to sleep, for God's sake. More. No, madam, écoutez, please. There is a distance between that tree and me. Obvious, I hope. There is actual distance. The nearer I get to that tree, the less the distance. But I can't see the whole of that tree if I'm very close to it. So I move away to look at the whole thing. Now, is there a distance between the grooves which my mind is functioning and I who said, yes, I realize my mind is functioning in grooves? Is there a distance?
Because I name it.
Huh?
Because I name it. I recognize them.
No, not recognize.
If I don't name, there is silence. No.
Look, sir, you don't repeat anything unless you know, you realize. Obviously, sir. Huh? There is a distance. You say, I am not those grooves. Right? Is that a fact? You agreed, greed is you. Right? You agreed just now. Why not the grooves also? Oui, madame.
Si nous, on a encore nous-mêmes avec l'ego, il y a toujours la distance. Parce que si notre ego disparaît,
Ah, madame, écoutez. Bien. Mais notre ego n'a pas disparu. Don't, madame, écoutez. No, don't. Please stick to this one thing. Don't go off to ego and all that. Which is there a distance between the grooves which my mind is living in and me who is looking at those grooves?
There can't be, you're actually in the grooves.
Obviously, but you're not, you see, you're all, so you are the grooves. Huh? Right? No, sir, you're rather hesitant. You are the group.
The grooves, there'd be no problem. We're obviously in them.
Yeah, you not in them. You are.
We're not the grooves.
Yeah, that's just it. You are the grooves. Is that a reality, or you have been forced to acknowledge it? And no, right. You see. You're all playing your don't. First, Shushila Shakuntala, you don't realize that you are functioning in grooves. Right? Right? Do you realize it?
Well, I think I probably don't realize it completely.
No, don't play around with, I do a little bit. Do you realize you function in grooves? See how reluctant we are to admit this? I'm not bullying, I'm not getting irritated, just watch it. Your thinking is in grooves, right? All thinking is in grooves.
That's not the problem, but I feel I'm stuck.
Where?
When you say you are the grooves,
Be stuck.
I feel that somehow, I mean, I see it, but I feel I don't see it completely. I don't see it. I see it in
No, I know what's the trouble. You want to be out of it. You don't say, yes, I'm grooves, and stay there for a minute. Because it's the most uncomfortable state to realize that you are basically living in grooves. To admit that oneself is to become very humble. We are so vain about not living in grooves. Right, sir? I am in grooves. That's a fact. Now, do I really see that? Or I say, no, partly I see it, partly not. Well, occasionally I'm out of it. Sometimes I feel freer from all grooves. Oh, it's so lovely. You follow? Playing. Or you say, yes, all my being is functioning in grooves. That's a fact. To admit that fact makes you, I won't go into it, it makes you tremendously aware. You won't move from that. Because if you move away from it, you're again back into the old reactionary, right? So, do you actually realize that you are that? Your thinking is in grooves. All thinking, whether it's the philosopher's thinking, scientific, or the religious, or the businessman, or the carpenter, wherever there is thinking, it must be in grooves. Because thinking, as we said, is the outcome of knowledge. And knowledge is the essence of all grooves. Sorry. Now let's go back. I realize as a fact, an immutable fact, that I am living in grooves. I won't move away from that fact. It is very uncomfortable. I thought I was free. I was free to express my opinions, my judgments, my this and my that. I could be irritated, but all the movement is still within the grooves. Right? You won't acknowledge this. Unless you really feel this, there is no movement out of it. Right? Then what happens, sir, when you, who are the observer, are the grooves, what happens? Haven't you eliminated altogether all reaction? Do you understand?
What do you mean by that, actually?
Oh, no. I realize I live in grooves. I am those grooves. My thinking is in grooves. Grooves are me, right? Before, I tried to do something about the grooves. I said, I must get out of it, I must not get out of it, I must, please tell me what to do, please help me, oh God, I pray to God. All that nonsense, right? Now, I realize that I am that. Any reaction to that is still another groove, right? Or grooves. So when I completely realize I'm grooves, there is no reaction. Oh, come on, what's the matter with all of it? No? There is complete elimination of reaction. Only when there is a division, there is reaction. Huh? So what happens to a mind that has realized the grooves and there is no reaction? Oh, come on. No, don't, you're not doing it. No, madam, no. Tout ça, c'est une blague. You are not. So, all right, begin again. I am irritated. And I react to that irritation. You must not be, or you must be. And I begin to see that all my reactions and responses are based on grooves, right? And I see that my mind, my heart, my whole being is always functioning in grooves, right? Sometimes I think it is not functioning, and I am how happy that moment, but that moment is a reaction, which is again forming another groove. Right? I've explained all this. So, I've come to the point, I realize, there is the realization that I am the grooves. Any reaction to that is slipping back into another pattern. You understand that? That's simple. No? Irritation, the reaction to that is I must not. The reaction to my realization that I'm functioning, I must be free. It is the same response. Bene? Right? So what happens? When I am blind, when I am the groove, I have no reaction to groove. It is so. Right? When there is no reaction, there are no rails. Oh, come. I know you're bored. Is this all right? Huh? Do you see the logic of it? Logic. Irritation was a reaction. To that irritation there is another reaction, which is I must not, or I must. And I, pushing it, I suddenly realize my mind is functioning in grooves. Right? Reaction is a groove. So, and I see, am I different from those rails? I am not. I am those rails. My mind is those rails. If I have a reaction to those rails, begin again, irritation. Right? You get it? So when there is an observation of the rails without reaction, where are the rails? Oh, you people don't see this. We better stop. 10 to 1. And tomorrow, Dr. Bowman and I. And what after that? No more. The shop is closed. Right?